Challenge: The Way to Success by Mary Grace Poulos. Read by Leah Salonga. One afternoon of my junior year, during my last period accounting class, I learned something that I can carry and use during my whole life. My teacher said something about challenges. He said that when we see challenges in books, newspapers, or magazines, we should just grab them. He said that for every challenge you conquer, you'll get a reward and you'll learn something new. I have realized that he was right. I have realized, too, that life is a challenge. 5 years ago, I was faced with the challenge of returning to school. I had dropped out of school in the Philippines, in part because of my disability, and in part because of others' intolerance of the differences my disability creates. Arriving in Unalaska, I never thought that I could go back to high school. Yet, if I had not grabbed the challenge to go back and give my best to finish high school, I wouldn't be here with you tonight. Though you may have heard another person talk about challenges, I am pleased that I am here, and I hope to encourage you with my story. At my age, 22, I have faced many different challenges in my life. These challenges have contributed to making me the person I am now. Because I was born with cerebral palsy, one of the challenges that I faced was learning to walk on my own. It took me 5 years of physical therapy to be able to walk with special shoes. I remember my grandmother Nata often promising me that after my physical therapy for the day, if I made a few steps, she would take me to an ice cream store or to my favorite fast food restaurant for my little reward. She wanted me to learn that before I could discover the world, I should expect to do therapy. As I grew up, my special shoes looked weird to a lot of children. They made fun of me and didn't want to play with me. There were many times that I cried. There were many times that I questioned the reason I had cerebral palsy. There were so many why questions I tried to answer, and so many whose answers I have yet to find. Those first steps in my special shoes, awkward and painful as they were also my first steps toward understanding the personal growth that comes from meeting challenges. I can recall my grandmother always telling me I'm not different from everyone else, and not to ever let people put me down. Sometimes it isn't easy to just ignore people who cannot handle my disabilities. But as I continue to grow up, I try to think positively always. I see these people as one more challenge. Most people move away from me when they hear me speak. My voice is difficult to listen to, my words poorly formed. For years I hurt deeply from this. The challenge for me there was to find the patience to work through this getting to know one another time. My success is marked with each new relationship I form. This, too, was my grandmother's teaching. My grandmother died when I was 13 years old. This year was a dark period of my life. There were a couple of times when I almost wanted to give up my life. I thought that I couldn't survive without my grandmother, even though I knew the rest of my family was still with me. I had to stop going to school because of an operation and the need to continue my therapy. The family I knew had changed. I learned the meaning of the word crush and faced a heartache that seemed unbearable. For the girls I knew, their first crush was fun and exciting. They hoped that the person they were attracted to would give them attention and want to be with them. I knew I was hopeless because of my cerebral palsy, and was broken-hearted to learn that the one I liked was interested in my friend. Some people might think that a person like me couldn't know or feel love. What often happens is that we become heartbroken. To learn to love someone is easy to do, but love in return is hard for those with or without a disability who are judged by physical looks and not by what is inside their hearts. I chose to keep myself busy with other things. I make that choice today still. When I was 17 years old, I was challenged to leave my home and the life that I knew. Moving to a country with a very different social, cultural, and political environment entailed a lot of physical, mental, and emotional adjustment. It was like starting over again from the beginning. I had to leave my friends and relatives and the culture that defined me. I had to start from ground zero. When I arrived in Unalaska, I was encouraged to return to school. At first I refused, because I was scared. I had left a school that could not welcome me or protect me from the hurtful words of others. I was scared to attend a school that I didn't know, one full of so many strangers. I was worried that I would disappoint the people who believed in me, and that I would disappoint myself. I was afraid that I might look ignorant, because I had no idea about this new culture, and I would also be the oldest student. But my mother decided for me, and I had no choice. Thank you, Mom. If you hadn't done that, I wouldn't have met so many of the wonderful people who have had such a positive influence on my life. I wouldn't have realized what I could do. I wouldn't have learned firsthand that nothing is impossible. I would not have met this great challenge. Now, I'm about to face the next level in my life's challenges. I need to move on and discover the world by myself. I must admit, I'm excited, but scared. I'll be alone for the first time in my 22 years. I will have no mother to cook for me every day or to take care of me when I'm sick. No stepfather to ask to fix my room's heater when it overheats. I will have no brother to always carry my book bag. I will have no little sister Vicadel to make me mad or to make me laugh. I will leave all my friends who have been there when I needed them, especially when I needed someone to talk to. When my sister moved out for college, I said to myself, I can't wait until I move out. But I didn't know then how scary it could be. I will start again from a low level of knowledge, but this time I can use what I have learned from this school and from the people that I met here. I will face challenges that are different from those I've had before, but I can use what I've learned from the past to help me work through and solve these new situations. I will try to do more than I feel capable of doing until I am successful. I know each person here tonight has faced challenges in the past. Every one of you could stand on the stage and tell your story of hard work, overwhelming challenges, and success. And in each story, there would be something to learn. I would like to encourage you all with the words of my grandmother. She said, "Don't ever give up, especially when you meet difficult challenges in your life. Don't ever let anyone put you down." I urge my classmates to forget the phrase, "Life is not fair." Better yet, try to remember that life is a challenge. Only you can make your life fair. Your success is in your control. Yes, you might need some help, but most of all, you need to help yourself. I hope the next time we meet, we will have new stories to tell, and that they will be filled with remembered challenges that we have faced and lessons that have taught us more about our lives and about ourselves. To all my teachers, to my parents, fellow classmates and friends, I would like to thank you for helping to put me here, right now. There are so many times I wondered what it would be like if I didn't have cerebral palsy. I realized that all my life would be changed. Maybe I wouldn't be here tonight sharing this with you. I understand that everything that has happened to me has purpose. Sometimes we can't see the purpose or realize why things happen, but we must never give up when we meet our difficult challenges, for it is the meeting of the challenge that brings our success and greatest reward.